So you've been working on skipjacks for a long,
For a long time.
Right? And
About
you've
60 years.
60 years you've
At
been
least.
working on them.
Yeah.
And
These were big ones too. They wasn't no little ones like we got now.
so Catherine's considered a smaller
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
How big were the big ones?
Well, they would carry 1,200 bushel oysters.
Wow. That's pretty
I
big.
don't have any pictures here with me to show you.
It's all right.
Of them,
I can
but
probably.
they were big. The mast was 98 feet tall,
Wow.
about 2 feet in diameter.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, did you enjoy working on them and restoring them?
It was hard work.
It was hard work.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I didn't mind it. I'd rather do that than farm. We farmed too, and he tended all the land down here, and I'd rather do that than farm.
Oh, really?
I made up my mind when I was young. I said I'm not going to be a farmer.
And so you never worked on the water, but you always worked in the marina and in the boat.
Well, when I got old enough to go underwater, like when I got older, like when I was 15, 16 years old, I was good at doing bookwork, which I don't like to do. But I was real good in math and stuff like that in school and bookkeeping and all. And they taught us all that when we were the first year or so in high school. We took bookkeeping and advanced math and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to go dredging with my father. I never had enough sense to realize he already had a crew of 6 men. You know, I never even give that a thought.
Right.
I was just assuming, you know, that I was going to go. And it was about 2 or 3 weeks before dredging, and I was getting all the boots and the gloves and grain gear and all for all the different men and getting all the stuff for all the boats. And I said, Daddy, I've not got anything for myself yet. What you want me to go? Who you want me to charge it to? He said, you don't need it. I said, well, that's pretty good. I guess I'm going to have to buy my own. I was thinking to myself. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, go up the road, get you a job, clean the septic tanks or anything. It's better than doing what I'm doing.
Really?
That was the advice he gave me. And I went to, the first place I went, I got hired. And I went to work for Endicott Johnson Shoe Store
Okay.
in Salisbury. And he made me assistant manager in probably about a month. I worked at Chris Craft for probably 10 years or a little better.
You said Chris Craft?
Chris Craft, building Chris Craft.
Exactly.
That was the largest boat building plant in the world.
Oh, so you went back to building boats?
Yeah, we were building boats.
Oh, okay. What kind of boats did they
They
build?
were wooden boats. They were sea skiffs, and they built sea skiffs and Corinthian models in our building where we were at. Then they had a Cavalier building. They built the cheaper boats. They were building they could build a boat every hour.
Okay.
I mean, on that line, they would build
Really?
a boat
every hour?
Yeah.
That seems...
It would take us a couple of days to build one, move one a day because they were bigger boats.
Mm-hmm.
And they put me working in cabin assembly, building the cabin itself. And I went to work there, and you had to use hand saws and hand tools to do everything, but they didn't have electric tools.
Wow.
And I was used to using electric tools to do everything with, and it would nothing fit.
Nothing fit?
Everything was 1 inch too big. You had an inch thing, you marked it by and cut it off, an inch off of it.
Wow.
That was about the dumbest I've ever seen. And I was riding with Edward Talton, lived here in Chance. He was in the engineering department. Now I asked him, I said, why are they making everything an inch bigger? Did they build a bigger boat sometime or what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they have it for wear, because the patterns wear. I said, well, can't you put metal plates on the pattern so they don't wear? He said, well, you could do that, but that's a lot of time. I said, well, I'll tell you one thing, it takes a really good while to cut all this lumber on every boat. I figured it would take about 30 or 40 hours on every cabin I built just cutting that lumber with hand tools. But they sent me away to school then to up in New Jersey to Owens Corning and Glidden to learn all about fiberglass and all that stuff.
Because fiberglass came to replace wood, pretty much, for boats. And so
they sent me up. We were already doing a little bit of fiberglass work, but they would build boats and stuff like that. You had to know a lot.
Right. I know this might be a complicated question or simple question, but as far as materials go, do you prefer working with fiberglass than wood?
I don't like to work with fiberglass. The fiberglass is all right, but I don't like to work with it.
Really? Is it
It'd kill you,
Really?
A lot of the men I had got cancer and all that stuff and died.
Oh, I see.
My supervisors and stuff.
So it's like there's something toxic in it?
Yeah, well, it stinks so bad. Have you ever been around fiberglass and never done it?
No.
It almost takes your breath.
Really?
Mm-hmm. when the Lions Club helped get the blood bank started, you know, all the Lions Clubs on Eastern Shore, and then we started trying to get a skipjack museum. My father was going to donate the land over there next to that were the, you know, on the Chance side of the harbor.
Okay.
He was going to donate that land, and they were getting ready to build a maritime museum at that time. They were starting on that, and we had our dibs on the lighthouse out here that they got up at, but we didn't have well, the county commissioners wouldn't take it in their name, is what the problem was. But if we had had a corporation at that time, we could have got the Maritime Museum lighthouse, what they've got now, and that all fell through. And then we started a little bit later on, and William Wheatley, which is in Skipjack Heritage now, and Robert Lee Shores was in Skipjack Heritage now, and several more members that were born and raised down here has moved away. They were all in the Lions Club then, and they were all working on the you know, the museum back there then. That's been like 40 years ago. And we didn't have a corporation then, so we formed a 501c3 corporation now. So hopefully everything's going to go through and we're going to get a museum.